Hello everyone, my name is Eunike Kyudasai Bramajaya. So in this occasion, I'd like to present my analysis. The title is Psychoanalytic Criticism, the main character's personal principles portrayed in Gwang Jin'S Itaewon class. I'm sure most of you already know and have seen this drama. So Itaewon class is a South Korean drama adaptation of a webtoon written by Gwang Jin and produced by Kim Song-yoon, and became one of the most popular South Korean drama in the first quarter of 2020. Set in business and ambition, this drama basically tells the story of the main characters named Park Se-royi, who take revenge against the CEO of a food company and his son because of the injustices he received in the past. Okay, now let's move to the plot of Itaewon class. So for the exposition, the drama begins with the introduction of a strong character of Park Se-royi with the principle of being expelled from the old school. He is known to the son of Mr. Park, who worked at the Jangga company. And for the conflict arose when Park Se-royi, who on the first day of school beats his classmate Jang Geun-won, who has bullying another classmate. He gets unfair treatment because Jang Geun-won is the son of the CEO of Jangga company. For the rising action, when Se-royi was released from prison for the assault case where Jang Geun-won had killed Se-royi's father through hit-and-run incident, he set up a restaurant and wanted to develop into a franchise business that would compete with Jangga's company. In the climax, Park Se-royi's Donbam restaurant is increasingly known to the public, and Jangga begins to show its decline. Osoa, who works at Jangga, reports evidence of corruption and other issues covered by the company. And for the falling action, slowly Jangga began to crumble and bankrupt, and Jang Geun-won went to prison. For the resolution, Park Se-royi, who succeeded in turning his restaurant into a franchise business, finally acquired Jangga's company and became the best food company in South Korea. Now I'll explain Sigmund Freud's psychoanalysis theory as the underlying theory. According to Freud, human personality is complex and has more than one constituent component. There are three personality systems named ID, ego, and superego. The first one is ID. The ID is in the unconscious area and represents a subjectivity that has never been realized throughout the ages. This system is a personality that is birthed from birth. When a person is born, the ID contains all aspects of inherited psychology such as instinct, impulse, and drive. Also, the ID is closely related to physical processes and operates on the pleasure principles to avoid pain. The ID is only capable of imagining something without being able to distinguish the fantasy by actually satisfying a need. This system is also not able to judge right or wrong, or in the other words, the ID doesn't know moral. And the second one is ego. This system is mostly in the conscious area and small part is in the unconscious area. The ego is the development of the ID with the intention that people are able to recognize reality. This system operates according to the principle of reality, and it means that it seeks to obtain pleasure but is carried out when a real object is found that can satisfy needs. To sum up, this ego tries to fulfill the needs of the ID by considering moral. Okay, and the last one is superego. The system is in the realm of consciousness and operates of an idealistic principle, which is the opposite of the gratification principle of the ID. Let's take an analogy of the parent and children. Whatever behavior is prohibited, considered wrong, and punished by parents, and will be accepted by the child in conscience, while whatever is approved, rewarded, and praised by parents will be accepted as a standard of perfection. Okay, there are 4 data found in this analysis, and the first datum you can see here, and you can read the conversation. So from the conversation above, we can see that the ID in Park Se-royi is very large. This is reinforced by the superego, namely who link with moral aspect of a Park Se-royi is much greater, which prompts him to dare to go to Osoa and ask him to apologize to the beggar. In this case, the superego can control the ID. For the second datum, We can see that Park Seo's character that is indifferent and not good at socializing means that rebracing the ID has a great influence. He ignored Oswa who was talking to him. It shows that he ignores the superego, which is related to the moral of politeness. So in this case, the superego can control the ID, and as a result, Oswa becomes angry with Seroyi. For the third datum, we can know that the ID in Park Seroyi is very large. This is proven by the action of Seroyi, who likes to defend the truth and is supported by his superego, who pays attention to morals. However, in this case, Park Seoyi ignores his ego, where the ego relates to reality, so that there is an imbalance between ID, superego, and ego, which results in Park Seoyi being expelled from school and his father being fired. In the last datum, we can see that the idea of Park Seoyi played a very big role, where his desire to release his anger on Jang-gun-won could not be restrained by his superego and ego, even though he had been advised by Oswa. It ignores moral principles and reality, and resulted in him being jailed for 7 years for assault. Okay, so yeah, my presentation for this analysis, and thank you.